What is up guys, Wraec is here with a new video, and today I want to talk about the Crystal Clash event and how you can best defend your Geode, because that is one major part of the event. It's not only about the plundering, it's also about the Geodes that you can defend, and there are some good ways that you should actually know about and that will help you earn more loot and keep your crystals safe. So what we first want to do is hop into there, and we want to find the proper Geode. Well, 1270 ain't actually that bad, have to say. We will just take the 1360, even though it's not that great. The good thing for this one is we actually just need any. I just want to show you guys how to set up a core defense. So we are going to go for the core defense, which is the most important part. Like, if you do it together with a friend, maybe leave that to him if he's stronger than you. If you are stronger, well, then you probably want to go for the core defense, because that has to be safe. That is like when where everything stands or falls. Before that, it's mainly about thinning out the enemy a little bit. We are today going to talk about the core defense. There are some nice things you can do outside to set some teams that are a bit annoying, but regarding the core defense, we first want to take a look at that. So let's defend the Geode. We go in there, defense begins, and now we have to set our formation. And the thing is, you can have different maps in here. Usually what happens is we have no battlefield bonus, and our defending heroes' HP is increased by 30% and their attack is increased by 15%. That doesn't seem like much. It is a lot. It is a lot. You wouldn't imagine how much that actually is. It is absolute insanity, really. And can actually, well, result in you being able to defend against much stronger teams. On top of that, the next thing you want to check out is this crystal, because not every crystal is actually the same. We can see the crystal core converts the healing received into a shield of equal value, and the core's HP will not drop below 40% until all defending heroes have been defeated. Those are two properties. The first one can change. There are different ones there. There are some that buff magic damage. There is one other one, I believe. And this one is the one that I saw the most often. It is also the one that we likely can abuse the easiest, and that can be result in quite some very mean results, actually, if you abuse that. And the next thing is also something you should know. The core's HP will not drop below 40% until all defending heroes have been defeated. This crystal core actually behaves like a hero, so even if the rest of your team is defeated, it will not actually be defeated. So if you have a hero like Damien, Damien will usually stop summoning chariots if he's the last hero, because then your team is defeated and then he's gone. Damien will actually not stop summoning chariots, not stop summoning toys, as long as this core is alive. And every time he summons a unit, this will actually block this core from taking damage, because will not drop below 40% until all defending heroes have been defeated. So every time Damien summons a toy, that actually stops the core from being defeated. So in this situation, Damien is good for two things. First thing, of course, is he stops this core from taking damage at all, and the next thing is he also provides heal, so that is converted to shield value, making this even more insane. So Damien definitely a very good hero for this one. On top of that, we really have three strategies that I see. The first strategy is a very classic one. It is making use of just the attack, and we just build a very easy iron team. So for example, you can go like this. I like Ulmus for this because the extra HP, extra 30% really plays into his cards. Also, he's stalling a little bit because we get those extra 2 seconds of CC, and that of course can be very, very mean for your opponent, because he just might run out of time defending this. But really the result, or the thing that we really aim for here, is damage. So you can also go for maximum aggression with something like this, even though I think the Ulmus is really nice because it makes it just so much harder to clean this team up and gives you the extra bit of time you might need to deal some damage. On top of that, we have the Damien, of course, with the just explained mechanic, and that is really one way that we can do, and that is the damage way. Just clearing out the enemy, making use of the attack buff, getting a nice faction buff as well, and then just defeating the enemy because before he has any chance to react. The next thing is a stalling strategy. which is also very interesting. Again, making use of that HP buff, we can also stall the enemy, making it very hard for him to clear out this entire team. And there we have really two different ways for that. The first ways are tanks. So this is one way of actually doing that. The Hewen can really be quite insane because, of course, in this game mode, we profit from all of these season buffs, making her very, very much so insane with her healing wave, with her revitalize, and especially if you have a +10 weapon, she can be very, very mean. If she gets her ult off, basically all of our tanks will become super insane. One thing you can do is, of course, buff the energy regeneration. And on this map, we have a particularly bad core position. Usually, one very nice thing you can do is do Cascade spell, but actually in this situation, this would buff Damien, which we don't really want. And on this map, we kind of want to place the Damien very close to the crystal, because otherwise he might just not heal that crystal with the summon that he does. So that is something to keep in mind. On other maps, the core is more in the center, making this a bit more easy. But you can see this is quite tanky. We have kept the iron here because it gives you the extra CC, gives you a bit more time to get her ult, and can be quite an interesting way to approach this. One thing to note, confining spell on this isn't quite bad, because even during the duration, where basically our heroes are defeated and only the core is still alive, this will confine the enemy and so keep the enemy from attacking. If your enemy just has 2 heroes on the battlefield left after we have dealt a good bit of damage, then he might actually struggle to fight this core, because he will always be CC'd, and then maybe a Damien chariot popped up again and some annoying stuff like this. But what would happen if we turned this up a notch? If we said like, okay, we had the Damien mechanic, but what happens if we use other heroes with similar skills? So let me show you a team that is also pretty insane and probably the most toxic that I have yet seen here. Okay, and what you first see, there are only 3 heroes on the 4 heroes on the battlefield. So you have one more slot that, well, we can use for different approaches here really, and I will show you some heroes that we have here. So why Burial, Talene, Thorin, Damien? Well, because all of those heroes are revive heroes, meaning they will come back, and as I said, every time the hero comes back, well, that will block your enemy from attacking the core. So as long as Thorin lives, well, you can't really attack the core. As long as you Damien summon the chariot, you can't really attack the core. Burial can't really revive that easily, but he will hide in the shadows and be just unattackable. So very, very annoying to deal with. Might summon some shadows, stall you down a little bit. Will be very, very hard to deal with, will be very, very annoying. And of course we also have some heal from Damien there, so that is another thing. And then we have Talene. Surprisingly enough, Talene and Damien, they have pretty good synergy, so as long as the enemy doesn't go past the Thorin, she might actually get an ult off, which would be absolutely devastating, quite mad. So in that sense, you could also, if you want to go and gamble on that ult, go for Cascade spell, because she is in the last slot. I personally prefer Confining Spell in this scenario because we want to play for time. And of course for that slot we have different options. We can of course go for a tank approach with not Forces, Presto. That is a different game, Forces, okay. With Presto. Or you go for good old Igor. Always annoying, always nice to have in such a team. So always a very good hero for that. Another thing, of course, in that sense, he will always jump on his tombstones. As long as he's on his tombstones, no way to actually take care of the score. And with Thorin and the burn from him and Talene's buff, that is actually another thing that we have there. If you have Supreme Talene though, and you upgraded your Mythic Plus weapon, then you can actually have the revive from that as well. We have the other revive there for the level 4 exclusive skill, which you can also make use of. And then we reach levels of annoyance that are, well, beyond anything really. So from all of these approaches, I kind of like the revive one the most. I really want to try this one. I wanted to record a video for you guys, but one little problem is there, and we will save this formation right now. The thing is, we have a bit of a protection period there, and I actually don't have time to record this right now. Maybe I'll do it later and then post that as a YouTube short. If I do that, then I will link it down in the description for you guys. Till then, tell me what you wanted, what you think about those defense team the most. That was not a sentence. My god, that was horrible. Tell me what you think about those defense teams. Did you use any of those? What did you try yet? Iron Comp, still a good choice. Tell me what you want, what you think about the event as well. Kind of curious about this because it is a beta, of course, a beta event, and I kind of like it. I think it is very special. It is a bit of a world event, so pretty cool. But yeah, till then, I wish you guys a great day, and we'll see us in the next one.